You've probably heard the rumor by now. One company forgot to set a spending cap on Claude, and in a single month, it racked up a bill of $500 million. That's $500 million. In Chinese yuan, that's about 3.4 billion. Whether or not the story is literally true, the fact that it spread like wildfire, over 40 million views on Polymarket alone, tells you something. It tells you that every company using AI at scale today secretly believes, that could be us. And that, right there, is the story behind Anthropic's sudden, shocking profitability. Anthropic just filed confidentially for an IPO. It's joining a wave that could be the biggest in Wall Street history, alongside SpaceX and OpenAI. These aren't just any IPOs. They could mint the world's first trillionaire, Elon Musk, who owns about half of SpaceX. But among the three, Anthropic is the youngest, the fastest growing, and arguably the most fascinating. Let's put the numbers in perspective. In December 2024, Anthropic's annualized revenue run rate was about $1 billion. By mid-2025, it hit $4 billion. By the end of 2025, $9 billion. In February 2026, $14 billion. And by May 2026, it had blown past $47 billion. That's not a typo. $47 billion in annualized revenue, less than 3 years after earning its first dollar. To understand how insane that is, consider this: Salesforce took about 20 years to reach $30 billion in annual revenue. Anthropic did it in under 3. As Alex Clayton from Meritech said, we studied over 200 public software companies' IPO data. This kind of growth has never happened before. Not Slack. Not Zoom. Not Snowflake. Never. And here's the kicker: Anthropic just overtook OpenAI in revenue. A year ago, OpenAI was at $6 billion annualized, Anthropic at $1 billion. The gap seemed unbridgeable. By April 2026, Anthropic had crossed $30 billion, while OpenAI was at about $24 billion. The tables had turned. But revenue is one thing. Profitability is another. OpenAI is expected to burn $17 billion in cash this year, and internal documents predict it won't achieve positive free cash flow until 2029. Anthropic, on the other hand, just told investors it expects to turn operationally profitable in the second quarter of 2026, this quarter. Revenue is expected to double to about $10.9 billion, with positive operating income for the first time. So how did Anthropic find its profitability inflection point so much faster than anyone expected? The answer lies in a fundamental shift in how they charge enterprise customers. For a long time, AI companies offered flat-rate subscriptions. You paid $20 per user per month, and you got a certain amount of usage. But that model was subsidizing heavy users. The company was eating the cost of the tokens. Then, quietly, Anthropic changed the game. In November 2025, they switched their enterprise plan to a base fee of $20 per user per month, plus API-based overage charges. Existing customers only discovered this when they renewed their contracts. OpenAI followed suit in April 2026, moving codecs from a per-message model to something much closer to API token pricing. What does this mean in practice? A developer who subscribes to both Anthropic and OpenAI's top personal plans, $200 a month total, would actually owe about $2,180 if billed at API rates. For individuals, the subscription is still a steal. But for enterprises, the bill just got real. And then came the new models. In April 2026, both companies released their next-generation frontier models. GPT-5.5's API price is double that of GPT-5.4. Opus 4.7, after accounting for the new tokenizer, is about 1.4 times the price of Opus 4.6. These models aren't just smarter, they're built amplifiers. And because enterprise customers typically sign one-year contracts at these prices, the revenue locks in. Why the aggressive pricing? Because these companies have finally found true product market fit, and it's not in chat. ChatGPT has 900 million weekly active users, but only 5.6% pay. That's a decent business, but to cover trillion-dollar infrastructure investments, you'd need 1 to 2 billion users paying for 4 years. Enterprise customers, on the other hand, are spending $200 or more per engineer per month. Heavy users are approaching $1,000 a month in API costs. The product that unlocked this? Coding agents. Claude Code. OpenAI Codex. These tools consume far more tokens than ordinary chatbots, but they serve a high-value audience: software engineers, data engineers, security engineers. If an agent saves them time, fixes bugs, generates tests, or migrates code, the company has every reason to pay hundreds of dollars per user per month. And now comes Opus 4.8. It's Anthropic's most powerful model yet, and it's also the easiest to overspend on. The headline price hasn't jumped dramatically. Fast mode is even advertised as 3 times cheaper, but the real story is in how it works. Opus 4.8 introduces dynamic workflows. Claude Code can now plan a task, then launch hundreds of parallel subagents to execute it. It's like having a small engineering team inside your terminal. That sounds amazing for productivity. But here's the catch: each subagent burns tokens at standard Opus rates. There's no premium for dynamic workflows, but the cost scales directly with the complexity of your project. And the whole selling point of Claude Code is that it can handle massive projects. In one user's test, Opus 4.8 consumed 16.5 million tokens and cost $17.26 for a medium-sized cursor task. GPT 5.5 did the same task with 5.9 million tokens and cost $5.57. Same task, 3 times the cost. Just today, a bug in Opus 4.8's subagent system caused users to lose control of their token consumption. Anthropic had to emergency reset rate limits. Many developers only realized how much they'd been burning over the past 2 weeks when the limits were cut. This is the paradox at the heart of Anthropic's IPO story. The smarter the model, the more it costs to run. The more it costs, the more revenue Anthropic generates. But the more it costs, the more painful it becomes for customers. The question isn't whether Anthropic can grow, it's whether it and its users can survive the true cost of that growth. For Anthropic, the IPO isn't just about raising capital. It's about proving that this model, charging enterprises for every token their agents consume, is sustainable. The $500 million bill rumor might be exaggerated, but the direction is real. AI is getting more expensive, and the companies that use it are starting to feel the burn. The question you should be asking yourself is not whether Anthropic will go public. It's whether you're ready for the bill when it comes.